That's right. The land's drying out well, and spring wheat is going in there. But if it's the tractor you're interested in, that's my Massey Ferguson 35. I've had many tractors in my time, but never one to do all the jobs all the year round with such economy and power. Last summer the tractor arrived. It has a 72-inch wheelbase and weighs a little more than the famous Ferguson 20, just enough extra weight to match the increased engine power. All the great features ever built into a Massey Ferguson are there, with others too that make the 35 the most advanced all-purpose tractor on the land. The diesel engine develops over 35 horsepower at the belt pulley, and if you don't want diesel, petrol and vaporizing oil engines are also available, all giving top economy and reliability. It has a large oil bath, air cleaner, and a new manifold design. The engine oil intake is large and accessible. The diesel fuel injection pump is of the new distributor type, designed for greater reliability and smoother running. 6 forward speeds and 2 reverse mean the right gear to suit every job. It means correct engine loading, better fuel economy, and greater versatility. With the smaller high-low shift lever in the low range, you have 3 low speeds and reverse, and 3 additional speeds with a lever in the high range, plus another reverse. The tractor has a safety starter. Unless the shift lever is in neutral, you cannot engage the starter. Starting's easy. In really cold weather, the switch is turned anti-clockwise to work the heating system, then full over to start. Otherwise, turn the switch clockwise and release it when the engine fires. With a really up-to-date hydraulic system, 2 control levers are necessary to obtain absolute control of implement. These levers are standard to both 65 and 35 tractors and are no more difficult to use than a single lever. The operational lever is on the inner of the 2 quadrants and is moved up to raise the implements and down to lower them. Its exact position can be re-established each time by using the sliding stop. Near the bottom of the quadrant, the lever enters the response range. The fast response setting permits quick lowering of implement. Slow response right at the bottom of the quadrant gives the opposite effect. Putting the draft lever at the bottom of the quadrant and stopping the operational lever anywhere in the top half of the quadrant gives position control. The links lower just as far as you move the lever down and no further. With the smaller lever on the outer quadrant, you control the implement depth. When the correct depth is established, set the special stop to limit the available range of lever movement to that necessary for field adjustments. You get more out of this tractor than out of any other. The implement and tractor work together as a single farming machine, easy to control and master of the job. Right and left pedals for the independent rear brakes are operated by the right foot, leaving the left free to control the clutch pedal. To work both brakes independently, the 2 pedals are coupled together by a small latch. A safety parking latch is also provided. When set, the latch automatically keeps both brakes on when the pedals are depressed. After a short while in the field, any operator is soon the master of the 2 hydraulic control levers. Reaching the end of a furrow, the plow is raised with the operational lever, which is lowered again to preset position to put the plow into work. There are no hard and fast rules governing the setting of the operational lever in the response range. Use the lever in the response range to adjust the hydraulic system to prevailing field conditions, and thus guarantee the best possible quality of work and tractor performance. Generally speaking, keep it as near the slow setting as possible to achieve maximum weight transference from implement to tractor. Any changes in implement working depth are of course made with the draft lever within the range of movement permitted by the adjustable sector. Whether the tractor works with a 3-furrow plow or any other item of equipment, the advanced features built into it contribute to greater performance and economy. Its engines are specially designed to develop maximum torque well below rated speed for first-class pulling power and a great-hearted ability to slog through tough patches when the going's hard. Massey Ferguson automatic depth control keeps the implement at any depth selected, irrespective of the pitch and fall of the tractor over undulating surfaces. A change in draft, as might be caused by greater working depth due to uneven ground, alters the pressure on the control spring to open discharge or inlet ports within the hydraulic system. Shown in slow motion, it's quite clear that whether compression or tension forces are transmitted through the top link, full hydraulic control is maintained by the double-acting design of the control spring. Underground obstructions cause little damage to the implement. The special compensating overload release mechanism built into the tractor provides an equal measure of protection for implements of light and heavy draft. Hitting an obstruction relieves the tractor of all implement weight, the wheels lose traction, and the tractor comes to a halt. Simple but effective. To clear the obstruction, just reverse the tractor and raise the plow, then drive forward again and put the plow back to work. You can often handle 4 furrows with a 35 and fast too. The powerful hydraulic system will lift 1,800 pounds, and the system of hydraulic depth control puts all the weight of the implement and more onto the rear wheels for a powerful grip. Ferguson system principles of weight transference from implement to tractor give the tractor a performance out of all proportion to its size. Its low rolling resistance brings many advantages, including greater fuel economy, and makes more power available at higher speeds. The 35 is a medium weight tractor that can do really heavy jobs as well. Fast response position with the operational lever, and the implement automatically lowers more quickly to follow the ground contours with greater accuracy. The tiller working over uneven ground shows better than a limited degree of weight transference from implement to tractor by prohibiting the fall of the lower links beyond a certain point. This may work on level land, but what happens on undulating ground is illustrated by operating the tiller on position control. When the front of the tractor goes down, the implement must come up. Incidentally, this is a warning to operators not to use position control with an implement whose depth should be adjusted by the draft control system. With the operational lever back in the response range and depth control working again, the difference is clear to all. The 35 is an ideal row crop tractor, having good clearance and a wide range of wheel track adjustments, 48 to 76 inches at the rear and 48 to 80 inches at the front. Easy to handle and operate, it works with the driver to achieve first-class cultivations. Yet another feature of great practical value is that the hydraulic depth control mechanism is operated by pull as well as push forces through the top attachment link. A number of implements like this steerage hoe, having much overhanging rear weight and very little draft, develop only a pull force through the link. Now, with the 35, their depth is automatically controlled with the same accuracy as attained with other implements. So perfect is this means of depth control through the Ferguson system that the operator is able to press down with his hand on the hoe seat a double clutch arrangement to give a live PTO. Depression of the clutch pedal until an additional resistance is felt disengages the drive to the rear wheels only. Maximum depression of the pedal disengages the hydraulic pump and PTO, in addition to the rear wheel drive. The live PTO feature is in great demand in modern farming. Depress the clutch pedal halfway to stop the forward travel of the tractor-operated baler, and the baling mechanism driven by the live PTO continues to operate. Specially designed for the 35, this manure loader can lift over 1,700 weights to a height of nearly 9 feet. With the deluxe 35 having a dual clutch and constant running hydraulic pump, the operator has continuous control over the loading beams. There is no need now to stop the hydraulic pump in order to change gear. To prevent the clutch pedal being depressed far enough to stop the pump and PTO, a special stop is provided. When operating the manure loader, raise and lower the beams with the draft lever. The operational lever will be in the response range at either slow or fast to control the rate at which the beams lower. Light, positive steering, free from all shocks, is ensured by the specially designed recirculating ball steering mechanism. Used with the tractor and loader, the manure spreader means that loading, carting and spreading manure is completely mechanized, one man performing the whole operation without ever leaving the tractor's seat. Another big feature of the 35 is that when the power takeoff selector lever is moved down to engage ground drive, the PTO shaft makes one revolution for approximately 20 inches of forward travel of the tractor, with 11 by 28-inch rear tires. You have therefore two PTO drives, one proportional to the ground speed of the tractor, in addition to the usual arrangement whereby the shaft turns in direct proportion to engine speed only. The point is illustrated by driving the tractor forward in 3 different gears and checking by means of a painted tine on a potato spinner when the PTO shaft completes every revolution. Stakes marked with the gear selected are placed in the ground at the end of every revolution, and it doesn't matter what gear is used, the number of revolutions of the PTO shaft over a given distance never varies. New implements will make full use of ground speed PTO for a multitude of tasks, fertilizer distribution being but one example. With the selector lever in the top position, proportional engine speed drive is obtained. Employing stakes in the same manner, it can be shown that the PTO shaft turns in proportion to the speed of the engine and irrespective of the distance traveled forward. If the engine speed is kept constant, the PTO shaft will turn many more times to travel a certain distance in first gear than it will in higher gear. That is what is meant by proportional engine speed PTO. Viewing the line of stakes, those illustrating ground speed PTO are always the same distance apart for any gear used. On the other hand, the distance between the stakes denoting engine speed PTO of wheel track adjustment. With the tractor jack available, the tractor is raised off the ground by its own hydraulic system. The front axle, which is made in 3 parts, allows track adjustments from 48 to 80 inches, and the rear wheels may be set from 48 inches to 76 inches. When altering the front wheel track, there is no need to adjust the length of the radius arms and steering drag links, another feature of great importance. Remember, you need only use one spanner for all field adjustments, and this goes for wheel changing too. For ease of steering with a multi-purpose seed drill, the front track setting is set at the maximum of 80 inches. This makes steering easy and ensures accurate coverage without any gaps of the whole field. The instrument panel provides a neat grouping of instruments and ample legroom. All tractors have an oil pressure gauge. Deluxe 35 tractors incorporate a tractometer functioning as an engine revolution counter, speedometer, and hour counter. The speeds in miles an hour in any of the 6 forward gears at a particular engine speed are read directly on the scales, as are the engine hours worked. Diesel models also carry an ammeter, and a water temperature gauge is fitted on VO tractors. The speed control lever is against the steering wheel for real convenience. An important feature of the bonnet arrangements on the tractor is the hinged service panel, giving access to the battery, fuel tank, and radiator filler cap without need to tip the bonnet forwards. When necessary, the bonnet is easily hinged forwards and gives greater access to the engine, fuel, and battery location. The large capacity fuel tank has an inclined trough fitted on the sides to carry fuel spilled over when filling away from electrical components and hot parts of the engine. To provide a high degree of comfort, a deep seat containing a foam rubber cushion upholstered in weather-resistant material is fitted on the deluxe tractor. The seat can be moved back to give the operator free movement when standing on the footrests, and yet remain in a position to allow a sitting position to be assumed instantaneously for simultaneous operation of the clutch and brake pedals. The seat may be kept dry in the rain by tipping it fully rearwards. By removing 2 nuts on the seat, it can also be repositioned further forwards or backwards. On the top cover, adjacent to the seat, are the hydraulic takeoff points for operating external cylinders. forerunner of all other types, Massey Ferguson 3-point linkage is still the best. Remember that the lower attachment links converge towards the front axle to ensure the implement works centrally behind the tractor and follows faithfully the steering of the front wheels. Yet another plus feature for the modern farmer. Attaching a plough or other implement is simplicity itself. First, the left lower link, then the right, and lastly the top one. That's the sequence of attachment and takes no time at all. Position control comes in handy when attaching an implement. You can lower the links to just pointed out, is well worthwhile. But to really appreciate this tractor, you've got to drive it yourself. A little simple instruction on the controls is all you need to start with. The rest of it comes easily with experience. A quick run through the main points about using the hydraulic control levers. The operational lever raises and lowers the plough, and the draft lever controls implement depth. Then away into work with absolute control using the Ferguson system. Yes, I'm well satisfied with my Massey Ferguson 35. I've proved it meets more of my needs for more of the time than any other tractor. It could be just as much the right tractor for your farm as well.